There we go, I think I should be streaming now. Let me just go and test and see if you can hear the audio output from my computer. Okay, if one of you wouldn't mind speaking for me quick.
Hello?
Okay.
If you wouldn't mind speaking. Are you good?
Okay, I think I'm good now. Yep.
Okay. So, for introductions, what did you say?
What was that?
So, I guess the monarchist introducing first.
Okay.
Hello there. I am a monarchist.
Okay. Okay, hello. I am pretty much a fascist.
Good to hear.
Yeah. Okay, so today, I'm the moderator, and I will moderate these two individuals debating. Hello?
I'm pretty much, yeah, well,
Okay.
I'm pretty much just getting like, Marxist theories, plan of their followers, and they all love them. And,
Okay.
yeah, I hate free markets, I hate monarchy, I hate that, and yeah, I just hate them. Yeah, I'm too.
Anyway, all pretty much described in my name. I pretty much anti-communist, dislike the left. Anyway, shall we get our debate started?
Sorry. Go on.
Shall we begin our debate?
Yes, okay. Intro, nothing like that, okay? I want nice and clean.
Okay. 1 second.
Okay.
Okay. I am back.
Okay. Oh, just so you know. Say again?
What's the first question?
Wait, me or his?
Wait, ask it.
Okay, since I'm the moderator. Okay, what's your guys' opinions on trade?
Okay, do you want to go first?
You can if you want.
Well, I can't what?
You can go ahead and go first.
Yeah, trades. Trades on the capital, pretty much.
Okay, so our current system now, we have a mixture of protected industry and tariff-free. I think it's a good system. I think dinosaur industry is like, making it rich, of course, but industries that are developing should of course be protected, subsidized, and tariff. Develop. But,
I pretty much believe in simply leaving everything alone, just let the economy do as it wants to. But in events of like bad economic times, to intervene somewhat and help struggling companies, things like that. But mostly just to let the economy be, do as it pleases.
Okay.
let's talk about on it. Should should Commonwealth of British Colonies remain or should it not?
I personally believe it should stay, as it just benefits the other countries, allows them to be allied with each other, gives them support from the nations of the former British Empire, as well as, of course, preserves the monarchy of Britain as they're under multiple countries.
Yeah, I think it should be fine. I think Australia, all the other countries should break up the Commonwealth, and Australia definitely should become a republic right now. Partially because I disagree with the idea that these countries go among the like I think it's progressist, I think it's unfair towards using democratic values to develop within a society.
Okay, okay, next subject, what's your opinions on revolution in France?
I mean, the revolutionaries really shouldn't have overthrown the monarchy, in my opinion. I mean, the conditions were pretty bad for the populace, but they could have, instead of completely overthrowing the monarchy, simply demanded reform of some type. Pretty much for something such as like basic welfare or something like that. But other than that, I believe the French Revolution was not really very justified. And I mean, the Republic afterwards under Napoleon, which wasn't really a republic, I sort of support due to its being rather monarchist, but other than that, I feel that revolution was not really justified whatsoever.
Okay, you? What's your opinion on it?
Well, I think the first revolution should have happened because I'm on our side saying that. But I have to without any criticism of the French Revolution. There was really no point because all it did was replace one working bureaucracy with that corrupted and became authoritarian in its place, and that what should have happened is like what happened in Russia and the Soviet Union. The entire bureaucracy should have been cut down to the roots, and a worker state should have been put in place for real long-lasting change, and not to regress back into the tyranny of what happened in France. So it's a good revolution that those things will be effective.
Okay. I think another subject. But while I'm thinking another subject, you guys can't throw ideas around.
What about the Czar?
Yeah, it's about the Tsar.
I personally believe the Tsar should have stayed, though I feel he could have done a much better job of helping the nation, because he simply was preventing a war with the Russian Civil War, costing thousands of Russian lives. I feel it was very useless. I feel the Tsar would have done a much better job just keeping the nation stable as well as helping the populace. But I do feel he should have pulled out of the First World War, as it was just starving the Russian people and just not good for the nation. But I also feel that the communist revolution afterwards, or led by Lenin, of course, was just ended up worsening Russia as a whole, with under Stalin and everything, just costing millions of more Russian lives due to communism. Anyway, that's it for me.
Okay, sign out here. My personal opinions about the revolution is this. I mean, me personally, I don't believe that the entire Roanoke family should be killed.
Oh yeah, that definitely was unjustified.
Kids and stuff like that. Like, because like when I see film and like read about that, it just aches my heart. I don't know why. It just every time I look at it, I just feel like Ugh. Okay, what about you, comrade?
Well, I probably guess my views are the exact opposite. I think the Czar was, that's like the crap. We ran into the moon. We've got more people than Stalin, so it's still born. And I think, of course, it could have been overthrown. Why? There was children in the world. Of course, it was harsh, but you have to understand. I don't kill children, so don't get it. You have to understand where the Bolsheviks are coming from. If the children were allowed to stay alive, then no one would recognize the Soviet Union. All the children would like to let it be like an unrecognized territory. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, see that?
Yeah, that is what would have happened. And we talk about the First World War and a lot of Russian people in the cities and the economy and all that. But for more than that, if we look at the history of pogroms, anti-Semitic, anti-Semitic pogroms, if we actually, I think that was also bad. And of course, the Tsar gets more different for that. And the Tsar can also partly be blamed for the recurrence of the Holocaust. It was the Tsarist secret police that exported the protocols of the Elders of Zion to Western Europe, fueling Nazi propaganda. So I do hold the Tsar partly responsible for the Holocaust. Even though he did publicly denounce it, it was his secret police that exported it and fueled Nazi propaganda, fueled anti-Semitic movements. And that's what I have to say about the Tsar. It should have been killed. And second, you talk about how the Russian Revolution was not necessary and how it became Western Russia. I think that's complete rubbish. Sorry. If the revolution hadn't happened, and the
I'm sorry, I'm taking a little bit.
Yeah.
You were saying before? I'm sorry.
So, okay, so you were saying that, I don't know where you got this from, that the Russian Revolution worse than Russia. When it becomes the big so, discuss it. In the USSR, life expectancy was raised by 65%, real income increased 70%, homelessness was eliminated, rent averaged 2-3% of family income, unemployment was eliminated, healthcare was provided as a right to everyone, with the USSR having the highest ratio of doctors to population in the world. It was achieved almost 38% for men and 12% for women. Just let that marinate your brain for a second. Raised school enrollment by 406 and provided secondary education as a right, heavily subsidized early childhood. This will be 2-3% of income, and they eliminated the gender pay gap between men and women. I really don't know where you get this thing that everything was made worse off, because if anything, people were exponentially better off. So now,
In my opinion,
Sorry, you saying?
you can go ahead. You can go ahead.
Okay, I kind of want to move on from the Revolutionary War into the Cold War era.
okay.
Okay, so, comrade, of course, what's your opinion on the Warsaw Pact?
The Warsaw. Do I approve? Do I?
No, so what's your opinion on it?
My opinion.
Your opinion on the Warsaw Pact.
Well, the Warsaw Pact only existed because NATO was encircling the Soviet Union. You see, most of the Cold War is Western imperialism with a Soviet response.
No. Okay, so Prussia
I simply, I would simply say that the Warsaw Pact was just, in my opinion, was pretty much just an alliance of Soviet puppet states, pretty much to defend the Soviet Union and its puppet states from the U.S. and NATO.
Okay, let's move on to the let's move on to the Chinese Civil War. Why not? Okay, you go first, Monty.
I simply believe that the Chinese Civil War was rather useless, as the nationalist government wasn't the worst. And the communist government ended up killing millions of people after the revolution, as well as driving the remaining nationalists to Taiwan, which now is a hotly debated subject about pretty much Chinese sovereignty over the island. But I personally believe the revolution was rather useless, as it just overthrew a rather stable regime that could have been probably kept China. In my opinion, the revolution was rather useless and just caused millions of deaths due to Mao's regime, but that's just my opinion.
Okay, combat. Give your opinion, please.
What was that? What did you say? I didn't hear you before. What did you just say? I didn't hear your response to that. I'm sorry, you keep like cutting out. I still couldn't hear you. Okay, I can hear you now.
I'm asking you to be specific. How did China get worse? In what way was China stable before?
It wasn't really stable whatsoever. In my opinion, China would have just been less communist. In my opinion, I doubt as many millions of people would have been either starved to death or just killed by the nationalist regime under Czech. But I just feel I just feel many more. I can't think of how to word this. 1 second. I just feel that millions of more people would have been spared under the nationalist regime, unlike I believe it is 60 million people I've heard, and I believe that were killed under the under Mao's regime. I just feel the nationalists would have, of course, just not murdered as many people as Mao's regime had, and I also feel that I don't know if they would have been able to do it, but prevent some of the famines in China, things like that, as well as possibly just anyway, that's just my opinion on the topic.
Okay, you were saying? I'm sorry.
I just want to say, we did have a zero views.
I know.
Wait, what?
We have zero views.
Oh man, see, that's so funny. Okay, moving on.
Okay, let me talk.
Sorry, you saying?
Let me talk.
Okay.
You, how do you understand Chiang Kai-shek makes Mao Zedong look like, a dog next to really. More people were dying than Chiang Kai-shek than Mao Zedong. Approximately 19 million deaths directly resulted from forced flooding, forced conscription, land theft, mass graves in Chiang Kai-shek, and that's not including indirectly works of the historian Henry Rosemont Jr. He notes that it was going through time, approximately 20% of the US population, one people were drug addicts, and there were teams set up by the Communist Party once Shanghai was liberated to go through the streets and pick up the dead bodies of the children and the women and men who had died during the night. So I really don't know how you can say things is better than now in any way. So now let's look at other accomplishments in China. This is between 1949 and 1976 in China. Population doubled from 542 million to 952. Life expectancy doubled. Caloric intake doubled. GDP grew by 5%. Increased gross industrial output 44. Increased heavy industry 94. Increased rail lineage 266%. Increased passenger train traffic from 100 to 800 million. Increased all rail freight tonnage 2,000%. Increased the road network 1,000%. Increased steel production from 35 million megatons. Industry's contribution to China's net material 60% or 54%. Even today, China still remains a socialist country, so
Yeah.
Chinese characteristic. 800 million people out of poverty, continues to expand and grow, and provide its people with job opportunities and people and they are revisionists, but they're definitely still socialist, social central planning, and continue to pick up world power and have overtaken America if you look at GDP person power parity. None of this would have happened if Chiang Kai-shek remained in power. If you look at the difference in socialist power and capitalist power, compare India and China between 1949 and 1970, which is started off at similar levels. And in China, life expectancy in 1976 was about 40%. Then consider the competitors, was about 40% higher in China than in India. So undeniably, socialism works, including capitalism works, and that's all I have to say about that. And without the revolution, without the Communist Party, without Mao, there'd be no need for that. It'd still be the old Middle East. It'd be like basically Africa or India.
Okay, I mean, I was going to Vietnam, but okay, that's good.
Vietnam.
Vietnam, okay. Let's talk about Vietnam.
Let's talk
Okay.
What do you mean by Vietnam exactly? Like the American intervention in Vietnam or modern Vietnam, or what exactly do you mean about Vietnam?
Really matter. I mean, we can pick both, to be honest.
I personally feel modern Vietnam is a rather successful nation, even though it is communist. I also feel that the U.S. intervention in the nation was just sad, as it pretty much just ended up embarrassing us, similar to the Soviet intervention in Afghanistan. But I just feel that the U.S. could have done a much better job in Vietnam, just by, instead of like trying to directly intervene, simply backing the South Vietnamese government to fight, instead of just directly sending ground troops over to the nation. Anyway, I feel Vietnam is a rather stable and prosperous nation currently, even with its communist government.
Okay. You done, Pasha?
Yes,
Okay, Combat, take it away.
I think it's kind of funny. You claim, socialism can't work, can never work, but here you go intervening in Southeast Asia, killing millions of its people. to stop a system that's a and I think Vietnam, Prussian Monarchist is completely right. It is a social country, prosperous. I just want to say, since Vietnam began to open up its markets and become heavily revisionist like China, we can see increases in child labor, increases in inequality, increases in the gender pay gap. So I think it's always better as a social study to become revisionist as we can learn from Vietnam and China, but I guess they had to do it in their cases because they had no other option. Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, I was really frustrated about this little insect in my room. Okay, let's talk about Romania.
Ceausescu.
Yeah, let's talk about commercial Romania.
I really don't know a lot about communist Romania, but I would pretty much call it a Soviet puppet state similar to most of the other Warsaw Pact nations. That's about all I have to say. I don't know a lot about the subject of socialist Romania, but
Comrade, do you?
Yeah, okay. Certainly, Ceausescu was a tough leader. It's not, it wasn't. And he was very revisionist, austerity and all that. But undeniably, Romania under socialism now. Into this country that has court citizens, they were breadlines, and he'd always going to always citizens. After socialism was dismantled and capitalism was established, a report done by the government had showed that thousands of children, since post-socialism, thousands of children living in the sewers of Bucharest and had to sniff glue to numb the pain from the hunger in their stomachs. So if you feel it sad, children died. This should make you pretty sad as well. That children in feel like sniffing their pain to numb the pain from the hunger and the cold. Because now they've been thrown out of the open world, thrown out of their houses, and privatized, and homeless, and poorly worse off. That's all I have to say about that.
Okay. Yes, that is pretty sad and tragic. Alright, let's talk about one of my favorite socialist countries, the GDR.
Okay.
Yes, it is my favorite, by the way. Don't ask why. I know it's confusing why fascists love upon this country. It's just many reasons why. East Germany.
I'm
But I'm gonna leave my personal feelings out of this and just let you guys debate about it.
Okay, you go first.
okay. I must say the East German, I do admire the East German military for preserving many Prussian traditions, but other than that, I really dislike the GDR as they have dismantled many traditional Prussian buildings, such as the Imperial Palace, which was the damage they could have repaired, as well as many other imperial statues, things like that, throughout the nation. Anyway, I also feel that the GDR's harsh immigration policies, especially in like the Berlin area with the wall and everything, I feel those were a bit uncalled for, as they pretty much were preventing anybody from leaving the country, even if they had family in the West or elsewhere. Other than that, that's about all I have to say about the nation. I just feel that they could have done a better job running the country in terms of immigration, as well as preserving some of the Prussian and Imperial German traditions and culture throughout the nation.
Okay,
Do you want me to go now?
Prussia, you still talking?
No,
Huh?
no, I'm not.
No, no.
I'm done.
Okay, comment. What?
He's not on.
Yeah, I'm done. You can go.
Oh, yeah. Alright, I'll go now.
Yep.
Okay.
You spoke of preserving the history of Germany. Just on that note, I want to talk about something else. If we compare Eastern Europe with Western Europe as to how they treated the pre-war Nazis, people like Nazi in Romania sided with the Nazis in World War II, in Bulgaria, they sided with the Nazis in World War II, Lithuania, who else?
Let's see.
People Latvia did as well.
Lithuania, Estonia, Finland, the list goes on and on, pretty much.
Mhm.
Yeah, so, as I was saying, in Eastern Europe, many of the Nazi collaborators tried and they believe in their cause.
Yeah.
But in Western Europe, you can see many of the people who were implicit with the murder of Jews and Slavs and other underground Untermensch went unpunished and then became members of the system. You can see that with Konrad Adenauer, many of them were former Nazis, and they weren't punished. In fact, the Americans, the United States, imperialists actually hid Nazis
Mhm.
Operation Paperclip in Argentina,
Mhm.
CIA, and I think the East did a good job in smashing the old Nazis, smashing the old traditions of racism, of genocide and all that. And if we talk about the war, of course, the war is it's bad,
Yeah.
but you have to understand, in 1952, Germany could have been reunited. The Soviet Union sent four offers to the West, known as the Stalin Note, to allow Germany to reunite. But every time it was turned down. The first three times it was turned down, and then the last time, once Germany said yes, then they turned down at the last minute for the Stalin Note to work it out. So once again, imperialism strikes and ruins everything. And you have to understand there was a systematic effort of brain drain on East Germany. Approximately 80,000 East German workers were killed and killed by East German schools, living in East German houses, but going and working in West Germany. So it was a drain on their economy. And
Mhm.
they were more forced to do it by the non-willingness of the West and by systematic efforts of sabotage and espionage on America. And this is harsh. History is harsh. History, you have to look at it with context now.
I do remember hearing about this in the video, but I forgot what video it's about. But like for me, because I downloaded the video lately and I uploaded it on my other channel. It's called Information About East Germany. Yeah. So pretty much like full disclaimer. I put like in the guideline pretty much. We're saying I don't know if the original video is up or not. So pretty much it's a re-upload video.
Okay.
Okay.
So do you want to respond to anything I said?
What was it?
Do you want to respond to anything I said? Question one.
I must say, I do admire the East's treatment of the Austrians, I like to call them, or the Nazis. But I will say that they did things such as the, I believe it was the Palace of the Republic replacing the old Imperial Palace. I feel was unnecessary, as the old Imperial Palace could have been easily repaired to preserve the Prussian Imperial German culture behind it. I also feel like some of the other buildings, such as the statue of Wilhelm I, I believe it was, outside of the Imperial Palace, actually being demolished by the East Germans, which had also been repaired even though it was damaged. I feel that some of those structures could have been saved actually could have been saved, yet they still could have removed most of the Nazi like propaganda and things like that, and just all the Nazism throughout Germany. But I feel they pretty much just removed all of the old Imperial German and Prussian, lots of, not all of it, but most of the Imperial German and Prussian culture throughout Eastern Germany, as well as the Nazi culture, though I also feel that the German immigration policies, though it was their East German immigration policies, that is, though they were, yes, the workers leaving were putting a strain on the East German economy, though I feel that they should have at least given some form of warning to the East German populace, at least by a couple hours at least, instead of erecting a wall preventing especially East Berliners from leaving the country, things like that. Anyway, that's my response to your opinions on East Germany.
Yeah, could have, would have, should have. Next point, please.
Okay. Any more questions? Guys,
Nothing more to say on East Germany.
Norva. I believe I have time for about one more question, then I'm probably going to have to get going here soon, so.
Okay, next question, maybe. Where are you going? Yeah, he told me before that he might have to leave.
Oh, did you leave?
So, is there anything you
Uh,
want to talk about now?
I can't really think of much of anything. Anything you wish to speak of?
You were talking about Venezuela.
Venezuela's a rather sad country. Just an example of how socialism can fail.
Okay, so let's talk.
Okay.
What? I'm focusing you now. What did Venezuela make the jump? Which year did they officially jump from capitalism to socialism?
I'm not exactly sure about that.
Was it when Hugo Chavez was elected in 1999?
What was that?
Was it when the first socialist president was elected in 1999?
I'm sure around the time, but I'm sure he couldn't have immediately enacted complete socialism in Venezuela, though probably within a year or two of his election.
Okay. Why then, before Venezuela faced the exact same economic problems that they are facing now,
What was that?
if they would have been immune under capitalism, why did they face the exact same problems then? Quote, when oil prices collapsed in the 1980s, this is in the 1980s,
Yes.
the economy contracted and why then did they experience that same problem under the previous neoliberal rate? You know what I'm saying?
I would assume due to mainly falling oil prices as well as possible oil shortages in Venezuela, as the Venezuelan economy is mainly reliant on oil.
You're saying the system doesn't manage the oil of the country.
Yes, pretty much. Though under the socialist regime, though under the socialist regime, I feel that they have definitely gone downhill in terms of their standards of living, especially as the country's pretty much bankrupt now, even mainly because of the shortage of oil. I feel a capitalist government probably wouldn't have been able to do much of anything to stop it, though.
Okay, let's so.
How are you saying that?
What was that?
Saying that what's under Hugo Chavez, you can see extreme poverty halved, relative poverty decreased by 2, average intake doubled, the economy continues to grow, GDP kept 5 times higher in 2014 than in 1999. HDI is higher, standard of living is higher, people are living better off. I mean, before, there used to be like, you know, heard of this story, there used to be the little shanty towns on the edge of Caracas, and the neoliberal government wouldn't even recognize that it existed. When Hugo Chavez came to power, those people immediately enrolled those citizens. You know, government, since they existed, gave them schools, hospitals, jobs. So undeniably, the poor of Venezuela are better off. And the poor came a few months ago to vote in favor of Nicolas Maduro and preserve the revolution because they don't want to go back to the way things were under neoliberalism, which is undeniably worse off. And socialism is exponentially better off. And now they're facing economic problems, partially the oil, the imperialism, and they will pull through. Thank you.
I don't really have much to respond about that anyway. But I just feel Venezuela could have probably had a more capitalist regime stayed in place. I feel Venezuela probably would have been able to also raise those standards of living. It just, in my opinion, I feel like they would have been able to. I personally would prefer a more of a monarchist regime, just due to my political beliefs. I feel that a system such as Venezuela and most modern republics just isn't as capable of governing as a good monarch is. But I feel that Venezuela definitely was somewhat improved under socialism, based off your claims. But
How would the monarchy have prevented killing oil prices?
they wouldn't have been able to. But I feel they would have been able to possibly enact reforms to possibly aid the impoverished Venezuela, such as the socialist government did as well.
Standard of living, I mean, standard of living here comes in the shop. In your mountains. Wages were declining previously before Hugo Chavez came over. They were at the same level they were in 1963 as of 1999 when he was elected. That's what it says here. I mean, so I really don't know what you mean when you say standard of living was higher. Of course they're higher because
Okay,
most people are better off.
alright. That was a question. So at this video, can you send the link down so I can share this video around?
What happened?
I said I
You
put
want the link?
yeah, the link to this video. So I can just like share around on Discord, and people can just like next time if they want to watch us debating.
I also have the entire debate recorded live on my channel as well. You can go and get it from there as well. I can send you a link to it.
Thank you, Pasha.
Yeah,
Thank
go.
you.
Anyway, I believe I have to get going here. Thank you for debating with me.
Good talk.
Sure. Pasha, have a good day.
Same to you.
One more thing, Pasha. I definitely love your flag, by the way.
Thank you. It's a very nice flag.
Because I have one also.
Ah, nice. Anyway, farewell everyone.
Alright, until then. Have a good night.
Same to you. Well, farewell everybody. I hope you enjoyed our live debate with that lad there. But anyway, farewell everyone. I just gotta turn off the stream here quick. But farewell. Have a good night. Expect more videos coming up.